Okay, we're on.
All right, welcome everyone. Lee Brooks is going to take us through how to initially set up and start entering in some of your bookings, and there also are recorded videos on TravelESolutions.com that you can watch as well. Thank you, Lee. Go ahead.
Thank you, Kristen. Hey, my name's Lee Brooks. I'm helping Tinks get this software set up. We're really excited to offer this as a new tool for the clients to use to better organize and keep trips where at your fingertips when you need your information and your client's information. It's a very powerful tool. You're going to get an email from in your Tinks email about setting up your TESS login and password. We would like for you to email Kristen or Beth your login information once you set that password up. That helps in case we need to do any kind of administrating to your account. But once you get logged in and you set everything up, you're going to come to Travel eSolutions website and you're going to log in with your login information. That's going to bring you to the dashboard. This is the screen that we see here. Under this screen, you have various information at your fingertips. My screen will look a little different than yours. This screen does show pretty much all agents. Yours will show your trip in progresses and your upcoming and your set. So from right here at your fingertips, you can see what you've sold year to date, what you've sold month to date, your trips that you have coming up, and any tasks that you have set up. We'll go over that a little later. To start adding your clients that you already have, you're going to go into client management. We want you to try to get all your clients put in and your trips put in, because once you get all your past trips put in that you've already have booked, the quicker you get that, the easier the software gets as far as adding trips as you go. From the clients menu, all these menus are selectable here. You would click this and you will have the option to add clients. It's the green button up here at the top. So click on the add client button. And on this, there's all the information that you need. So you would start, and we'll just start with me. Now, I'm already in here. It knows my information because yours won't do my screen like this, but you can tab through and you can add middle name or do last name. And if there's any nicknames, someone you know them by any other name, the more information you put in here, it's easier to search for your clients while you're putting in their trips. Birth date, anniversary date, and you can either use the calendar or you can type it in shorthand and it'll go for you. This will have your agent information. You can put male, female, address. We'll do my address here. And mine autofills for me, but you get the gist of what the information is. Over here, down at the bottom, you're going to have to click Save and Close. As you progress, when you finish one section, you hit Save and Close. Or, I'm sorry. Go back into this. I did not want to close that. So we'll go back into my information here. So once you hit Save, don't hit Save and Close because it will close you back out of that screen. So you'll hit Save. Then you can go over and these options will be available. Workspace extensions, we will get into that later. That's a little bit more advanced. For the moment, we're going to stick with basic information. Under contact details, this is where you're going to enter your information for your client's email, fax numbers, telephone numbers, or any other contact details that you have for your client. So for me, we would put my email address in because that's one of our main sources of contact. And you can choose what type of email it is. We'll stay home. And you would just put their address in here. If this is the main contact and the contact that you are going to be using for all trip information, you would hit the default contact. If you want to use a different email, you would put that in and put that as the default. So you click save, and you can keep adding more contacts as you go, and it'll go down the list until you have all your contacts in. Your phone numbers, you would put telephone, you can choose what type of phone. So once we get all this in, you can then save and close. Now your information, your customer's information, your client is in the system now. It's part of the database. Anytime you need to pull that customer up, again, you can search for it right at the top. And so we need you to go through first. This will be the first thing that we want you to do, is go through and add every client and all their contact information that you have. That way, once you get your database started, then you can start adding your trips. And from the dashboard menu, when you log in, if you want to start adding trips, there's two different ways to do it. You can either click add trips on the desktop here, or on the left-hand menu pane, you can go under trip management and go into your trip dashboard there, and you can also add a trip by the green add button. So we're going to go ahead and add a trip. Now we have already entered my client, me as a client. From this menu, you have your option of what type of trip they're going to be taking: vacation, wedding, other, honeymoon, business trip, or anniversary. For most, we're going to have vacations. Then their start date would be the date that they are going to leave and their first day of their vacation. So we're going to put mine next month on the 17th. And I'm going to be returning in 7 days on the 24th. This trip is going to be an active trip, meaning that I intend on taking this trip. So once we get that down, the dates, the trip description is very important. This is where the company would like this formatted a certain way. We want this formatted as the last name, and correct me if I'm wrong, Kristen, the last name dash.
Actually, Lee, do last name space dash space. Yeah, no, just one dash there, not two.
Okay.
Yep, and then space, and then now I'd like do Walt Disney WDW or whatever. Then space dash space, and then the actual start date of the reservation. Okay. And it's really helpful if like you follow that calendar and have like 01/17/2018, because we get a lot of like February 2018 or January. It's much better to have the actual like date in there.
And can I just say one thing? If it's a placeholder, do the last name, DCL, and then the date that the placeholder will expire. And then next to that, if you could do space dash space placeholder. So Beth and I'll know, but put the date. Yeah. So if the placeholder is going to expire on 1/17/18, like they have to travel, put that so we also know that it's a placeholder.
Yeah, because we can. Yep, because we can at some point maybe even search placeholders to send a special mailing or whatever.
Thanks, Lee.
No problem. And like I said, I want to make sure that we stress getting this in for search purposes. As Kristen and Beth will both be searching and doing commissions through TESS, this will make their job a whole lot easier, getting agents paid on time and correctly. And reporting, all the reports will be pulling based on the way they're searched and the way they're pulled in the database. So this is crucial that all trips be described in the same manner throughout the company, and we appreciate it. And thank you for doing that for us. So we're going to save this trip. This is an active trip now that I have. And then it opens up the other panes over here. So now we're going to add a resort hotel. We know I'm going to Walt Disney World. This is really cool, and this is something that you'll love. Yes. This is when you add a resort hotel, it's going to put the check-in date and the checkout date and times. If the client is going to get there at a later time, their flights, you can put that. We're going to leave it like it is for now. But I want to go to Animal Kingdom. Oops.
You're gonna want to hit Disney's. Start typing Disney Animal Kingdom.
So you can either search, and normally it'll search anything in the header. You can put anything of Disney's, Animal Kingdom, Kingdom Lodge. If the more specific, the quicker it can find it. And it gives you options: Disney's Animal Kingdom Lodge, villas, and it gives you different the Jumbo House or Kidani Village. We're going to go all out here, and and underneath this, correct me if correct me if I'm wrong. I'm thinking that even the basic account will do this. Well, I'm on a basic account, so of course it will.
Yep.
The basic account is what most agents will use. It adds all these options. There's the only options that the advanced account adds you probably won't use. But so I want a villa, one bedroom Savannah View, and if you know the room number, you can put the room number in there. Most of the time you won't know that, so we'll save that. So now it's got every information as far as where they're going to be staying, right there in the reservation. When they have a flight information, you can add all this information up here at the top. Add a flight, add car rental, which normally we won't do, but if they do have a car rental reservation and you want to put that in there, you can. And when you send the customer their invoice, it'll have all this information put on it. So, or the client will have all this information. Anything you put in there, it will have all their information and trip information for them. So we'll save that. Now this is where you would add your any travelers that were going. You can, if you add their children as clients, you can go in here and put it. But if you didn't add them, you can still put it here as a secondary traveler, and you would start typing. But we're going to put me as the primary. So I've already put all my information in. So this would be, I'm the primary traveler. So we're going to save that. And it brings up all my information that we've already put in there. And then you can add another traveler. And then we can add a secondary traveler. Now, there's no one in my database with the first name Lynn. So you can create a new client straight from here. And it's a quick add-in, first name, birth date, telephone number, and it allows you to add it quickly without having to go into the clients menu and add it there. So we would add Lynn Brooks. And we would put the birth date, and then you can create, and it'll keep adding clients in that, and travelers in that order. And you can add all the way down to the children, and that will give you all your traveler detail for this particular trip. All right. Now, let's see. Is there anything else we want to go over here? No, we're good. Okay, so we're going to save. We're going to click save. We're going to save everything. And it's best to always save before you move on to the next thing. Even you can't click save enough. It's not going to hurt anything. That way you just make sure everything's locked in before you move to the next thing. So now you want to add their booking information. This would be once you have called Disney, you've set their booking. Trips can be added as like quotes, even if you're just quoting a trip. You can add a trip as a quote and not add a booking. That way, if the customer or the client's thinking about it, you can go in and change the trip information. But when they're finally ready to book that trip, then you would go into booking. They've deposit, you've called Disney, and you have their booking information. And you have set their reservation. Booking number being their reservation number will, whatever they give you, that would be what their booking number would be. The booking date, this is the date that they booked the reservation. So I say I booked it tonight. All right. Tour operator. This is, you're going to start with Walt Disney Parks. Now it comes up Walt Disney Parks and Resorts. All right. And commission rate. This would be, there's two options here. If this was a lead that was given to you by the company, of course we have lead commission. If this was your booking, it would be at standard commission rate. And once you check that, it will go to your default commission rate. Everything is already loaded in there. Their package price would be the price of the package, full price of they paid for the vacation. So we're going to say $6,000. All right.
Nice trip.
Yeah. Told you I'm splurging. Commission earned. If your percentage, we're just for ease of sake, we're going to say 10% would be 600. This would be your commission earned at your rate. Every agent knows their rate. They can do this.
And Lee, I told everyone.
And it also shows it down here.
I told everyone once they activate their account to reach out to me, and I'll set their commission rates.
Yeah, and everything will be set up, and they can fix every. It'll show your rate here, and this is how much you will be getting paid for that trip once you put in your commission earned. Mine is not set up as a commission account. It's just an administrator's account, so mine will look a little different than yours. This booking status will be active, meaning it is going on. If you have to cancel a booking, it doesn't ever delete. Once it's saved, it's there. You can go in and make it cancel, meaning it's not active, it won't continue anymore, but it still will be there. So we're going to I'll put the 600 back in here just because. Booking description, we're going to do the same description as the trip description, and the simplest way is copy and paste it from right there, and you got it exactly the same. So we're going to click save, and then it'll let you know. If this doesn't come up and tell you it's green, it'll highlight in red what it needs you to put in. So if you make a mistake, it won't let you go forward until you correct it, and it'll show you what you need to correct, which is a neat feature of the software. I mean, it's not going to let you keep going without something that you don't, that you need. Tasks. Tasks are things that you would like to be reminded, either on your own. You can, like booking, book dining. Sorry. Wow. Say we want to book dining, and my booking date needs to be done on the 21st. And I want it to remind me as an agent that I need to book their dining 2 days in advance. And under description, book, we'll put dining. This is a general task, and it's active, and you would click save, and then all these tasks are put in here. And you will receive an email reminding you on your Tinks email when this is due. So that's kind of keeps everything. It kind of keeps everything. So it keeps everything so you can do your tasks. Get them done when you need to, and you don't have to go through a calendar all the time and look at that. Yeah, and you can do fast passes, pay in full date, anything that has to do with what you need to do for your client before they set off on their trips, and make sure everything is done in a timely manner. Under payments, right now we don't have any payment set up on this, so we're going to add a payment. So this is where we're going to put our, the customer's already made a deposit, their $200 deposit down. You can pick what client made that out of of course, I'm the primary. I'm the one that's going to be making all the payments on this trip. It's an initial deposit, and the date was the day that we booked the booking. And we're going to do 200. And we don't do the credit card information, as that may come later. You don't have to have a credit card on file for customers or clients, so you can just save this payment just as it is. And what it does is it's going to add that payment. It's going to take your total package price, and it's going to give the balance due. So anytime the customer calls in or the client calls in and needs to add a payment, you would go into the trip. You would go into your trips. You will find your trip. All your trips are in here. And again, searching for the trips up here, you know that it's Brooks. If it's not right there on the top, you can pull it up and it will come up and it'll have the date of the trip, and you can click on it. You can go back into anything at the top here and go into bookings. And then you're going to open up the booking, and you'll go back into the payments, and you can add a payment straight from there again. So we'll add another one, and you'll check the payment type would be a regular payment, the date when they paid, and the amount. And again, you save, and it keeps doing this through all payments, and you know exactly how much is the payoff on that particular trip. So we will, and we're going to add. Then when you can do the final your final payment and save. Or once you do your final payment, you can actually go back into the trip information, and you can change the trip status to paid. And it'll show you in your trip, when you go into your trips, it'll show you show paid, active, canceled, ready to travel if they've already traveled, or just booked and hadn't made any payments. So, another type of trip that we're going to do, we're going to go over the cruise trips, because there's and then this is where some of these other tabs up here will come into play. The trip information, the bookings, and the tasks and will be your main things you're going to use, but we're going to go over a couple other things here in just a moment. So we're going to go back into trips, and we're going to start a new trip. We're going to do a regular trip, and it's going to be a vacation again. And we're going to do the dates, whatever date, and the trip description. We're going to do DCL. Let's see.
Hey, so Lee, so there do like Brooks again, space dash space DCL space dash date.
Correct. Yeah, we're gonna. All right, so it's Disney Cruise Line DCL. Oh, I'm sorry. Brooks dash space. I get. She had to remind me of all the spaces. Space dash space 01 dash 19 dash 2018. Okay.
That's a great date for a cruise.
All right. And we're going to add the cruise. Okay. And so it's a 3-night Bahamian cruise, and it'll tell you the description. The departs January the 19th. Pricing, and the cruises are automatically in here. The itinerary, where they're cruising at that date, is already in there. And then under this, you can choose different categories of. So you can add the room category. We're going to do the concierge royal suite.
Who gets that ever?
I know, right? And I don't know the room number, but I bet people do. But you can also put the room number in, but not just the royal suites. You can do anything from all categories, all decks, every category on every deck. You can choose, so that way you know exactly what your client is, what this trip is, or where they're staying, what room number, if they have one. So that's a really cool thing about the adding this in. It allows all the information to be there. And again, if you send once you send any invoices or any type of trip reminders to your clients, which we'll get into at a later date. That's going to be later on in the series of training videos. Which videos, remind you, there is a lot of really good videos in this software that goes over a lot of other things. So if you ever get stuck, feel free. Those are at your fingertips. So we're going to save this, and we're going to go back into adding the traveler. We'll go ahead and get that in there, primary. Again, your client's in there already, so it comes straight up, all the information. This is great if you have repeat clients that book all the time. You don't have to put information in every time. It comes up right for you. And we're going to add another traveler, and this time, now that we have Lynn, she's already there, and she's going to be the secondary traveler. So once it's added, it's there. So once you get everybody's information put in, you don't have to enter it again. So we're going to save. Now, we're going to do the booking on this. And we're going to go ahead and go through this. This is the same every time. Booking number. The date would be the day that they booked it. The operator. Disney Cruise Line. And again, standard agent rate. Now, also, you'll also notice that if this is a personal trip, because personal trips commissions are paid different, you're going to select this, and it's going to come up and tell you commercial. Hit confirm that you want to request this be a personal trip. That will have to be approved by Beth or Kristen. It will send them a notification of that. Have you gotten any of those yet?
No, we have not.
Okay. Because I should have it set up to where they have to approve it. That way it will change the rate. So we're going to put the package price in here again. We're going to stick with the big spending limit there. And your commission earned again. Now, like I said, the personal travel will override any of the travel rates, but it will be a per approval basis. Booking description, again, we're going to keep with the same descriptions, copy, paste. That way it keeps everything uniform. Now, onboard credit. We have, let's see. Okay. Now, to do onboard credit, I'm working on hopefully a better solution, but this is the way we're handling onboard credit at this moment. At the top under trip information, at the top you have the Pixie Dust tab. This is where you're going to enter your onboard credit to client or any other gifts to clients. So during a Disney cruise, say this client would be getting $450. $450 onboard credit. So you're going to save that. That's very important at the moment when Beth or Kristen is doing commissions. This is where they're going to find that onboard credit and are able to make the adjustments needed in the commissions. So that is very important on getting agents paid in a timely manner, that this be done this way. Hopefully moving forward we'll have a different solution, and when that comes out, maybe a little more streamlined solution, but we're working on that with the software developers, and hopefully they can come up with a solution for us. But more to come on that later. So we'll save that, and that'll put the onboard credit in there, and that you're done there. There's no other information you need. Let's see. And again, under the bookings, now that we've added the booking, same here. You can add your payments. It's the same for cruise trip. Any of the trips, adding payments are exactly the same. That's one thing you'll find. It's very repetitive. I think Kristen and Beth can agree that once you've done it, it gets very easy as you go along, because you'll know exactly what you need to put in. It's the same way every time, which is a really good thing. Everything's done the same way, so it just makes everything streamlined. So we'll cancel this for now because we've already went through that. Kristen, is there any other thing you wanted to go over?
I don't think so.
I have one thing. I would suggest, like, right where you can see the masthead there of receipts, payments, I suggest going over to notes. And whenever you make phone calls to DCL or Walt Disney World and you're talking to cast members, I would put the time and the date, who you're talking to, and like what you did there. So that if you're traveling and you don't have paper
And
files,
somebody needs to.
this can be a paperless way of us knowing that
You could also put in the telephone number you called from, because now for me to get the call log pulled, I need to know the telephone number you called from, whether it's your cell phone, your home number.
Exactly, but we can see in there, and it's not under communication you do that under notes, because communication is a different thing.
Sorry, Lee, we interrupted. Sorry.
No problem. So, yeah, and like you said, the note, this is helpful in keeping everything that you've done. Like you can put call DCL spoke to, and you can put the name, date, time, and then hit save. And these notes are all added here in order. And you add another one, and it keeps a timeline too. It puts when you put it in there. So so if you add another note, changed reservation, you would do, you could put whatever information you want there, hit save, and again, it puts it above that. So it keeps a hierarchy of notes, what happened when and when it was done. So that way you can go back, and if a client's like, well, I don't remember, or Disney said, I don't remember that, we'll say, I did December the 2nd at 8:57 p.m. Was when, I called, and they gave me this info. I spoke with, this agent. So it's really helpful if you have any issues, where you have to go back and see what you've done. Yeah, it's just kind of like the note, just like the notes that you're supposed to be writing down. Also, one thing Lynn finds very helpful, she still likes the PDFs. Printing the PDFs. These can be added straight into TESS. You can click add, and any PDF file, you can drag it straight over to the screen. You don't have to do anything else. It drops it right in there, and you click update, and it's going to upload that for you. My computer didn't like me doing that.
I think it did it. I think it's right there.
I'm not responding. I think I'm doing too much right now.
I see it as showing, and it's already there.
Is it there?
Yeah.
It's not updating for me on my screen here.
No, it shows.
Okay, is it there?
Yeah.
Yeah, hold on just a minute. It doesn't like me sharing and doing this at the same time. Technical difficulties. Hold on just a second. I'm going to stop this, and I'll be right back. Let me get live. Yeah, sometimes when you're sharing screens, it doesn't like you doing certain things. Okay, y'all have my screen again?
Yep, I see you.
Okay, so we'll go. Now, did that document disappear to you too?
Yes.
Okay.
Yep.
I'm not going to try that again while I'm sharing the screen. Just these two softwares may be conflicting with each other. So, but that's exactly it does work in.
It's pretty easy to pull it in.
And yeah, we'll go into. We'll go to. I'll show you where it does add. Because Lynn does use that quite a bit, so she already has them in here. So we'll go into documents since she already has it here. And you can download them straight to there, and it gives you her reservation details and everything that she has. So she likes to do that. It does keep a nice record. And you can add, if you change anything, you can add the documents, and that gives you also another paper trail that you can use if you need to go back and add something. And it uploaded the date it's done, and it keeps that as an archive, and that's that it's undisputable. It's there. So
Hey, Lee, I would suggest that as a best practice, people do that so that they then no longer have to send me PDFs, because I could see the PDFs, or Kristen could see the PDFs in their TESS booking.
Correct.
So Kristen, do you agree?
Yes.
Okay.
And then when they need to make changes and everything, they can go directly in and just make the changes there. No need to send emails and things like that.
Mm-hmm. Correct. Yeah, and you just drag and drop it into this bar here, and it'll add it. So it's very, very easy. There's no, you can pull it straight off the desktop into this, and it's no problem. Let's see. Any other thing that we wanted to?
Can you, Lee, can you show them into the Walt Disney World one what the Walt Disney World extension looked like?
Yeah. The workspace extension?
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll go.
Not that one. Yeah, right there.
Okay. Yeah, we also have the Walt Disney World extension, and let's see.
Yep.
There we go. You can do under the information on the Walt Disney Resorts. This is also, it's kind of like the Pixie Dust. It allows you to add information about their booking, their ticket levels, what tickets they have, number of days on the trip, if they have memory maker or not, or number of days of tickets, the dining plan, if they have quick service, deluxe dining or standard dining, if they're using Magical Express, if they've elected to have travel insurance, or any celebrations that they have, birthday, anniversary, weddings, any of that, you can add there and hit save. So if they have, they have a park hopper ticket, you can add that and save it. So we're not going to save that because I'm in one of the wrong trips. I'm not going to add and save anything on that trip because I don't want to change anything in it. But we can do it. We'll go back to the trip that I made, and we'll add one just so they can see that. So you'll click on that, and
Nice.
All right. Why is it not letting me? let me go back in here. It's okay. I was clicking it on, I think, on the wrong information here. So because of my particular account, it was wanting. I was in the edit extensions. So you would actually, to add it, would do it from here. You would click the more and click on the Disney Resort Test Library. And that's where you'll be adding it. And then you can click save. So now it's saved. And if you go back into it, now it shows you. And it'll keep that there for you. And if you need to take it away, they change their options. You can, with a simple click, change it, click save, and now it's the way you want it. And then you can add any tasks. It gives you your number of tasks here, so you know if there's things that you need to do on this trip. You can go from there. Also, from the dashboard. On the dashboard, you also have my task due. And this tells you when it's due. And you can click on this when it's completed. You can just check it off. You don't have to go anywhere special. So if you know you've already done it, you just click it and it says complete. So now that marks it complete also in the trips. So we go back in here, go back to the tasks, and see it shows completed. So straight from the desktop or the dashboard, we finished that task. And now it's gone because there's no more tasks due. This will also be populating commissions received once everything gets going. Of course, mine has nothing. It won't. I'm not a paid commissioned employee. Any other things that we want to go over? I think that pretty much the basics. We wanted to keep it kind of basic tonight. I don't want to confuse anybody. The software, I know it looks overwhelming, but it's really not. It is very, very simple once you get started on it, get all your initial clients and trips put in, and then adding trips as you go. It falls into place very quickly. If you do get overwhelmed, there's agents that have been on it for a couple months now, and I myself can be contacted. So you can contact my wife Lynn, Kristen, Beth, with any questions as far as what you have. You can contact me. I have an email. I'm it@tinksmagicalvacations.com. I would like that if you do have any issues to first try to contact one of us. There is a help desk that I'll show you, and this goes straight to TESS themselves. You can create an issue, but I want to try to keep. I want to try to resolve the issues first internally with the company before we reach out to TESS, because I don't want to overwhelm those guys too much, and with general questions. A lot of the questions we can answer as a company, and you shouldn't have to reach out to the help desk unless it is a serious issue and you can't reach someone. They do answer in a very timely manner. But like I said, if you could email me or Lynn or Kristen or Beth, and who else would you add to that list? I think
Mindy Sheldon's up and going.
Yeah,
Megan's been up and going on it. I would say the best bet is first they should reach out to you, Lee, or they can they can email you at it@tinksmagicalvacations.com, or they can post on the TMV page first.
Yeah.
To see if someone else has had the same issue. And then, if you can't answer it, or Lynn, Beth, myself, Mindy, Megan, the agents who've been, even Scott's up and running in it. then, we'll let you, Lee, be the point of contact to email TESS and ask them how to take care of it.
Yeah. And that, I just don't want to overwhelm them. And the TMV agent Facebook page would be a great resource if you're having any issues. I monitor that group quite closely. I also check my emails periodically throughout the day. So I'll be available, and I can answer most questions, and I can even in certain instances give agent a call if they need me to, and try to help them work through something. That's no problem at all. But that's what we're here for. But the help desk is available if you really need something and you can't get in touch with someone. That would be where you would go, and you would start a ticket there. But we want to try to encourage you to contact one of us first.
Perfect. All right. Beth, Lynn, unless you have anything else, I think we're done. And Beth, I guess we'll ask that all agents, we will post this recording, and we'll ask that all agents have all their bookings definitely in and by a certain date. Beth and I will post that when we post this recording, or Lee will post the recording, and then we'll go from there.
Sounds good. Thanks, Lee.
Thank you, Lee. Thank you, Lynn.
Thanks, Lynn.
You're welcome.
Bye.
See you soon. Bye.
Bye.